Chosen one, stop right there. What I'm about to reveal isn't just something to listen to while you multitask. No, this is urgent. This is an emergency broadcast for your soul. If you click away now, you might miss the single most important realization of your entire life. This is something that will change how you see yourself forever. You need to pay close attention because right now, you are on the brink of realizing that you have outranked the highest beings in the heavens. I know that sounds impossible. I know you have been told to be humble, to stay small, and to endure your suffering in silence. But that silence ends today. You are not just a survivor. You are not just a good person trying to make it in a hard world. You have unknowingly crossed a line in the spiritual realm that few ever reach. You have surpassed limits that heaven itself didn't even know could be crossed. And the craziest part, heaven itself didn't see it coming. This is a warning. The reality you think you're living in is about to shatter. Everything you thought you knew about your place in the universe is a lie designed to keep you unaware of your true rank. You see, heaven operates with systems, rules, and checks. It is a perfect hierarchy. But then, you showed up. You, with your messy life, your deep pain, and your refusal to give up. Suddenly, the frequency you operated on didn't fit any existing category. It was as if you were a glitch in the divine code, and when the spiritual realm realized it, they had no idea how to process what you had done. Chosen one, pause for a second. Do not let the enemy steal this moment from you. If your spirit is already vibrating because of what I just said, do not just watch in silence. Subscribe right now. You know exactly how often distraction comes right when you are about to receive a breakthrough. Don't let this connection break. Lock into this frequency so you don't miss the confirmation God is trying to send you. You didn't need to ask for this promotion. You didn't need to demand it. Your actions, your very essence, triggered a reaction from the divine that changed everything. While you were crying yourself to sleep, wondering why your life was so hard, you were actually passing tests that angels were never designed to take. You were doing the impossible. You were generating light in total darkness. I promise you, you're going to be speechless when I show you the evidence, because there is proof. Real, tangible proof in your daily life right now that confirms your new status. You've always felt different, haven't you? Like you're not quite in sync with everyone else. That's not by accident. That is the first sign of the shift. So, do not go anywhere. We are about to decode the secret no one told you. We are going to look at exactly how you outranked the highest angel and what that means for your future. This is a paradigm shift. Once you hear this, you cannot unhear it. You cannot go back to being ordinary. If you are ready to accept your true power, keep watching. It's time for you to understand what you've truly done. The Divine Anomaly. You have always felt it, the gnawing sense that you are physically here, but spiritually, from somewhere else entirely. It is not just about being an introvert or being shy. It is deeper than personality. You look at your own family, the people you grew up with, and you feel like a stranger in your own home. You try to join their conversations, care about the things they care about. Gossip, politics, the latest trends. But it feels like you are acting in a play you never auditioned for. You are exhausted by normal human interaction. Why? Because you are trying to squeeze a chaotic, high-voltage spirit into a low-voltage world. You have surpassed limits that heaven itself didn't even know could be crossed. And the first symptom is this intense feeling of disconnection. For years, you probably thought something was wrong with you. Society has a way of making the chosen ones feel like outcasts. Maybe they called you the black sheep of the family. Maybe they told you that you were too sensitive, too intense, or too difficult. They looked at your inability to conform and called it a defect. But I'm here to tell you that your defect is actually your designation. You are not a mistake. You are a divine anomaly. You are a holy paradox. The world is built on a specific frequency, a standard operating system designed for the average human soul. It thrives on routine, compliance, and fear. It is a system built for safety, not for power. But you vibrate at a frequency that the system cannot recognize. It was as if you were a glitch in the divine code. You are not broken. You are simply incompatible with the old programming. When a computer encounters a file it is too primitive to read, it calls it an error. That is what happened to you. The world called you an error because it lacked the software to understand your spirit. This is exactly why they fear you. And when I say they, I am talking about the gatekeepers of this reality. I am talking about the people who are terrified of anything they cannot control. Have you noticed that people seem to dislike you for no reason? You walk into a room, say nothing, and yet someone instantly decides they have a problem with you. That is not accidental. The spirit inside of them recognizes the rank inside of you, and it gets scared. They try to fix you because they fear what they can't understand. They want you to be smaller so they can feel safer. They want you to fit into their box because your expansion threatens their comfort. Think about the concept of new wine in old wineskins. You cannot put fresh, expanding, powerful wine into an old, stiff leather skin. If you do, the skin will burst and be destroyed. That is the story of your life. You have spent years trying to pour your massive, expanding spirit into the old, stiff structures of your family, your job, or your local religious community. And every time you did, things exploded. Relationships ended abruptly. Friendships fell apart. You blamed yourself. You thought if only I was smaller, this would work. But you have it backward. You were not rejected because you were not enough. You were ejected because you were too much. You are a new vessel. The old rules cannot contain you anymore. You have outgrown the container. You are not weird. You are simply a new category of spiritual being that the world is seeing for the first time. You are the anomaly that changes the equation. The unconscious trigger. What if I told you that you've been doing things all your life, not realizing that each action was building up to a moment where you broke through heaven's rules? Most people think that spiritual ranking is something you earn like a paycheck. They think if they pray enough hours, fast enough days, or act perfect enough, they will get promoted. But that is the old way. That is the servant's mindset. You achieve this rank not because of what you did, but because of who you are. You see, you didn't need to ask for it, and you didn't need to demand it. Your actions, your very essence, triggered a reaction from the divine that changed everything. It wasn't a decision you made on a specific Tuesday. It was an unconscious trigger. Think of it like a security system. A security system doesn't react to everyone who walks by. It only reacts to the person holding the master key. For your entire life, you have been walking through spiritual doors that were locked to everyone else, and you didn't even realize you were holding the key. This brings us to the difference between servants and heirs. In a great house, the servants have strict rules. They must wake up at a certain time, wear a uniform, and ask permission to enter certain rooms. They are valuable, but they are restricted. For eons, the spiritual realm has operated on these rules. Even the angels are servants high-ranking, powerful, glorious servants, but servants nonetheless. They follow orders. They do not deviate. But then, there is the heir. The heir doesn't have a curfew. The heir doesn't need to knock to enter the throne room. The heir shares the DNA of the owner. You have unknowingly stepped into the role of the heir. You surpassed limits that heaven itself didn't even know could be crossed because you stopped acting like a servant and started vibrating like a son or daughter. This is why your life has been so chaotic. If you were just a servant, your path would be simple. Follow the rules, get the reward. But because you are an heir, your mere presence challenges the order of things. You walked into situations and disrupted the atmosphere without saying a word. Have you ever noticed that you can walk into a room full of tension and suddenly everything shifts? Or conversely, you walk into a fake, happy gathering and suddenly everyone feels uncomfortable. That is your frequency at work. You are a living tuning fork. The surprise factor here is that you did this without a manual. You didn't go to a mystery school to learn this. It happened automatically. While others were trying to learn the techniques of spirituality, you were living it through raw experience. You were crying in your bedroom, feeling abandoned, yet choosing to trust. You were betrayed by those you loved, yet you chose to forgive. Those weren't just moral choices. They were energetic keys. Each time you chose light when you were surrounded by darkness, you sent a shockwave through the spiritual realm. There is a specific moment in your timeline where this likely began. I want you to think back. There is a memory, perhaps from your childhood. Maybe when you were 6, 7, or 8 years old. Do you remember a specific moment where you felt a sudden, crushing weight of the world, or a moment of intense, blinding clarity where you knew you didn't belong here? That wasn't just childhood imagination. That was the moment your spirit came online. That was the moment the glitch started. Something happened to you back then, an event, a trauma, or a visitation that unlocked this unconscious trigger. You might have suppressed it, but your spirit never forgot. That event set you on a trajectory that the heavens are just now catching up to. You didn't just grow up, you woke up. And when you woke up, the hierarchy shifted. The spiritual universe reaction. Heaven operates with systems, rules, and checks. Everything is usually planned perfectly. The sun rises, the seasons change, and the spiritual hierarchy maintains order. It is a machine of absolute precision. Everything has its place, and everyone has their role. That is how it has been for eons until you appeared. When your spirit fully activated, it didn't just make a sound. It created a shockwave. Imagine a perfectly calm lake where the water is like glass. That is the spiritual realm in its standard state. Now, imagine someone throwing a massive boulder into the center of that lake. That is what your energy did. You disrupted the calm. You created ripples that traveled from the lowest depths of the earth, all the way to the highest throne room. Suddenly, the frequency you operated on didn't fit any existing category. It was as if you were a glitch in the divine code. The spiritual universe is currently scrambling to figure out how to accommodate your new status. You might feel like your life is stalling or that things are moving strangely slow. That isn't because you are stuck. It is because the universe is recalibrating around you. The reality around you is literally trying to stretch to fit the size of your spirit. This disruption caused an immediate reaction. Observation. You have likely felt this. You walk down the street and you feel eyes on you. You sit in your room alone and the air feels thick, as if the room is crowded. You aren't crazy. You are under surveillance. But here is the twist. It's not just the dark forces watching you. For a long time, you were told that demons watch you to attack you. That is true, but it's only half the story. The angels are watching you too. The highest beings in the celestial hierarchy have turned their gaze toward you. Why? Because they are studying you. They have never seen a being wrapped in human flesh carry so much light while wading through so much mud. They are fascinated by your ability to fall, break, bleed, and then stand up stronger. To an angel who knows only perfection, your resilience is a mystery. They are taking notes on your life. You are teaching them something about the nature of God that they cannot learn in heaven. This leads us to the reality of your existence. You are a walking cosmic rebellion. You might think you are just trying to pay your bills and find peace, but spiritually, you are dismantling the status quo. The status quo says that if a human suffers enough, they will break. It says that if a person is rejected enough, they will become bitter. It says that if you are attacked enough, you will give up. You have broken every single one of those rules. You suffered, but you didn't break. You were rejected, but you kept your heart open. You were attacked, but you are still standing. By simply refusing to quit, you are rebelling against the logic of the enemy and the expectations of the hierarchy. You are a wild card in a predictable game. The spiritual realm prefers predictability. They want to know exactly what you will do next. But because you operate on this new, higher frequency, you have become unpredictable. This makes you dangerous to the dark side and a wonder to the light side. The alarm has been sounded. Every spirit, high and low, now knows your name. You are no longer flying under the radar. You have the attention of the entire universe, and they are waiting to see what you will do with this power. Surpassing the Seraphim. We need to address the elephant in the room. What I am about to say might sound controversial, or even impossible, to everything you have been taught in Sunday school. But if you want to understand your true identity, you have to look at the hierarchy with fresh eyes. No, you didn't surpass God, let's be very clear about that. But you have surpassed the highest angel. You exceeded the one who was closest to the Creator. You have outranked the Seraphim, the burning ones who circle the throne day and night. To understand why, you have to look at how the game is set up. Think about a seraph. This is a being of absolute perfection. They were created in the direct presence of the divine. They have never known a day of confusion. They have never felt the sting of abandonment. They have never wondered where their next meal was coming from, or why a loved one betrayed them. They exist in a state of constant, undeniable bliss. For an angel to worship and obey is easy. It is their default setting. They see the Creator with their own eyes, so of course they believe. There is no risk involved. Now look at you. You were not born in the throne room. You were born in the trenches. You were born into a world filled with filth, lies, pain, and confusion. Unlike the angels, you do not get to see the face of the Creator every morning. You have to navigate through a fog of doubt. You have to deal with a physical body that gets sick, tired, and hungry. You have to deal with people who lie, cheat, and steal. Here is the logic of your rank. An angel is obedient because it has no reason not to be. You are obedient even when you have every reason to rebel. That is the difference. The chosen one was born in filth and pain, yet chose light. When you were lying on your bathroom floor, tears streaming down your face because your heart has been shattered. And you still choose to say, I trust you, God. You are doing something an angel cannot do. You are offering a sacrifice of praise that costs you something. An angel's worship costs them nothing because they have everything. Your worship costs you everything because you often feel like you have nothing. That choice, the choice to hold on to faith when you are drowning in darkness, makes you superior in rank. It proves that your love is not programmed. It is earned. It is battle-tested. This creates a massive distinction between them, the perfect, unblemished spirits, and us, the battle-scarred chosen ones. The spiritual realm respects scars. In the physical world, we try to hide our scars. We use makeup, filters, and surgery to look perfect. But in the spirit, your scars are your medals. A seraphim has smooth, perfect skin. They have no wounds because they have never fought in the mud. But you are covered in spiritual scar tissue. You have scars from the childhood trauma you survived. You have scars from the friends who stabbed you in the back. You have scars from the years of loneliness. When you walk into the spiritual realm, those scars glow. They tell a story of a soldier who went behind enemy lines, took the hits, and kept moving. That is why you outrank them. The highest angel knows the glory of God, but they do not know the grace of God. You can only know grace if you have needed it. You can only know mercy if you have messed up. You carry a knowledge of the divine that the angels are jealous of. They watch you and wonder, how do they keep going? How do they love a God they cannot see, while we see him and still don't understand that depth of love? So, stop looking at your imperfections as failures. Your imperfections are the very reason you were promoted. You were born in the dirt so you could rise above it. You have done the heavy lifting that no angel was ever asked to do. You have maintained your light in a world designed to extinguish it. That is not just impressive, that is legendary. That is why the hierarchy has shifted. That is why you sit in a seat that the perfect ones can only dream of. You are not a lower being trying to get up. You are a high-ranking general who was sent down to the front lines, and you have earned every single stripe on your uniform. I want you to look at those stripes right now. If you are still standing after everything the enemy threw at you to destroy you, type 444 in the comments. Let it be a signal to the spiritual realm that you didn't just survive, you conquered. Type 444 to wear your battle scars as a badge of honor. The alchemy of agony. It wasn't your power that made this happen. It wasn't your intellect, your talent, or even your willpower. If we are being completely honest, there are people out there who are smarter than you, more talented than you, and more disciplined than you, yet they do not hold your rank. Why? Because the thing that elevated you wasn't your ability to succeed. It was your ability to suffer. It was your ability to face suffering and still rise. We need to talk about the alchemy of agony. In ancient times, alchemists were obsessed with turning base metals like lead into gold. They wanted to take something heavy, toxic, and worthless and turn it into something precious. That is exactly what you had done with your life. You didn't let your pain consume you. You transmuted it. Most people, when they encounter deep trauma, become bitter. They let the pain rot inside them until they become toxic to everyone around them. They become the victims of their own story. But you did something different. When the world handed you lead, when it handed you abuse, neglect, poverty, and heartbreak, you didn't hoard it. You put it in the furnace of your spirit. You processed it. You cried, you screamed, you fell apart. But then you put yourself back together using the pain as the glue. This was the great miscalculation of the dark side. The powers that be, the negative forces that ruled this world, thought that suffering would break you. They threw everything they had at you. They attacked your finances, your relationships, your health, and your peace of mind. Their goal was to crush you into dust. But they made a fatal error. They didn't realize what you were made of. They thought they were burying you, but they were actually planting you. They never thought someone could rise this high simply by enduring pain. Instead of destroying you, the suffering polished you. Every betrayal made you wiser. Every loss made you appreciate what you have. Every tear watered the seeds of your destiny. You took the weapons formed against you and melted them down to forge your own armor. That is why they didn't see it coming. They expected you to fold. They expected you to become just another angry, broken human. When you stood up, wiped the blood off your face, and kept walking, you terrified them. This brings us to the prophetic anchor of your life, the refiner's fire. In the ancient world, a refiner of gold would sit by the fire for hours. He would take the raw gold, which was filled with impurities, dirt, rock, and other minerals, and he would hold it in the absolute center of the flame, where it was hottest. He didn't put it in the fire to destroy it. He put it in the fire to purify it. Gold does not fear the fire. Gold loves the fire because the fire removes everything that isn't gold. That is what your life has been. You haven't been punished. You have been purified. The heat you have felt for the last few years, that wasn't the enemy winning. That was the impurities burning off. The fake friends, the bad habits, the limiting beliefs, the fear, it all had to burn so that the pure gold of your spirit could shine through. The refiner knows the gold is ready when he can look into the molten metal and see his own reflection perfectly, like a mirror. That is what the Creator has been doing with you. He held you in the fire until he could see himself in you. And now, you are pure. You are solid. You are dense with spiritual value. This is why you are different. An angel is made of light, but you are made of gold that has been tested in the fire. An angel has never felt the heat. You have lived in it. That gives you a weight, a gravity, and an authority that cannot be faked. You don't just have faith, you have proof. You know you can survive because you already have. You are walking evidence that darkness cannot win, and that, my friend, is a power that makes the heavens tremble. Listen to me closely. I know you are used to suffering in silence. I know you are used to being the strong one who never asks for help. But you don't have to walk through this spiritual warfare alone anymore. If this message is healing a part of you that no one else sees, hit that subscribe button. It is time to stop isolating yourself. Your spiritual family is right here, and we are waiting for you to take your place. The haters as confirmation. We need to talk about the side effect of your promotion that no one likes to discuss. The haters. Have you ever noticed that the more you work on yourself, the more people seem to turn on you for absolutely no reason? You walk into a room, you smile, you are polite, and yet you can feel the coldness coming from certain people. They roll their eyes, they make passive-aggressive comments, they gossip about you behind your back. And the wildest part is, you haven't done a single thing to them. You haven't wronged them. You haven't attacked them. In fact, you've probably been nothing but kind to them. This used to confuse you. You spent nights wondering, what did I do wrong? Why don't they like me? You need to stop asking that question immediately. This isn't a social problem. It is a spiritual problem. This is what we call the unprovoked attack. And believe it or not, this is one of the strongest confirmations that you have outranked the highest angel. Here's the mechanics of how it works. Spirits recognize rank. When you walk into a room carrying the heavy, high-ranking anointing of a chosen one, the atmosphere shifts. If there is someone in that room who is operating on a low frequency, someone who is jealous, insecure, or harboring dark intentions, your presence irritates their demons. You don't have to say a word. Your light literally burns the darkness inside of them just by being there. Think of it like the mirror effect. When you stand in front of them, your purity acts like a mirror that reflects their own filth back at them. They look at you, and deep down, they see what they are not. They see your courage, and it reminds them of their cowardice. They see your authentic light, and it reminds them of their fake persona. They don't hate you. They hate what you expose in them. They are attacking the conviction that you make them feel. This is why the attacks are often irrational. Had you ever had a coworker or a family member blow up at you over something tiny? Maybe you left a cup on the table, or you voiced a small opinion, and they reacted with a level of rage that didn't match the situation. That rage wasn't about the cup. That was the entity inside of them lashing out at the authority inside of you. The lower spirits are uncomfortable in the presence of a higher-ranking spirit. They get restless, they get agitated, and eventually they attack. But here is where you need to flip the script. You have viewed these attacks as losses. You have mourned the loss of friends and family members who turned on you. You need to stop mourning and start celebrating. This is not rejection. This is divine redirection. When you outrank the highest angel, you are placed under a different level of protection. The universe knows that you have a massive mission to fulfill. It cannot afford to have you surrounded by people who are secretly praying for your downfall. So, what does the divine do? It allows these people to attack you. It allows them to show their true colors. so that you will be forced to let them go. If they hadn't attacked you, you would have kept them in your circle. You would have kept sharing your dreams with them, not realizing they were poisoning your water. The betrayal was necessary. The gossip was necessary. It was the only way to get you to separate from them. You are being separated because you are being elevated. You cannot take everyone with you to this new level. The air is too thin up here for them. So, the next time someone attacks you without cause, don't get angry. Don't try to defend yourself or explain your heart to them. Just nod and recognize it for what it is, a confirmation slip. Their hatred is your validation. It is proof that your frequency is rising and the gap between us and them is widening. You are moving up, and they are simply reacting to the fact that they are being left behind. Let them go. You have a kingdom to inherit. The 3 are refutable proofs. Now I'm going to show you exactly how to confirm that you have surpassed the highest angel. It's not something I'm asking you to believe blindly. This is something you can test in your life right now. I don't want you to just listen to this. I want you to feel it. I want you to verify it. Here are 3 irrefutable proofs that show you outrank all the rest. We are going to do something different. If it is safe to do so, I want you to close your eyes for just 10 seconds. I want you to go back in your memory to the darkest moment of your life. Think of the person who betrayed you the deepest. Think of the person who slandered your name, broke your heart, or tried to destroy your future. You have every right to hate them. You have every right to want revenge. But what did you do instead? Open your eyes. Here is proof number 1. Supernatural forgiveness. You forgave them, didn't you? Maybe not immediately, and maybe not easily, but eventually, you let it go. You released the poison. Do you realize how impossible that is for a normal human being? The natural human instinct is survival and revenge. An eye for an eye. Even in the animal kingdom, if you hurt a creature, it will attack you back. But you took the hit, absorbed the pain, and released peace. This is the ultimate proof of your rank. Forgiveness is not a human attribute. It is a divine attribute. Angels fight for God, but they do not have to forgive like God because they are not wronged like you are. When you forgave the unforgivable, you were channeling the very nature of the Creator. You were operating on a frequency that is alien to this world. It wasn't weakness. It was supremacy. Only a being with absolute power can afford to show mercy. If you have ever forgiven someone who deserved to be destroyed, I want you to say confirmed in your mind right now. That is your first badge of honor. Proof number 2, the knowledge of more. This is the one that keeps you up at night. It is the unshakable nagging sensation that this world is fake, too small, or just a temporary waiting room. You have walked through life feeling like you are wearing a suit that is 2 sizes too small. You look at the people around you stressing over money, fame, and social status, and deep down, you just don't get it. You feel like an actor who walked onto the wrong movie set. You look at the stars and feel a strange sense of homesickness for a place you have never been. This isn't depression. This is your spirit recognizing that it is too large for its container. A fish doesn't know it's in water until it's taken out of it. But you know you are in a simulation. You know there is a reality behind this reality. Normal people accept the world as it is. They are comfortable here because they are of here. You are uncomfortable here because you are from above. This dissatisfaction is your proof. It confirms that your origin is high above the angelic realm. You remember unconsciously what true glory feels like, and nothing on this earth can satisfy that hunger. If you have felt this deep cosmic homesickness, nod your head. That is your second confirmation. Proof number 3, the manifestation of thought. Have you noticed that the gap between what you think and what happens is disappearing? In the past, you could think about something, and maybe it would happen months later, but recently, it's happening almost instantly. You think of a person, and they call you 2 minutes later. You fear a specific outcome, and it manifests by the end of the day. You focus on a solution, and the answer walks through the door the next morning. This is happening because your rank has unlocked admin access to your reality. Your thoughts are no longer just wishes, they are commands. The universe is listening to you with high priority. When a high-ranking officer gives an order, the soldiers move immediately. When you think, the energy of the world rearranges itself to match your vibration. This is a blessing, but it is also a responsibility. It proves you have outgrown the limitations of time and space. You are creating in real time. Take a moment to look at your life. The forgiveness you gave, the homesickness you feel, and the speed at which your thoughts become things. These are not coincidences. These are the 3 proofs of your elevated status. You have tested the evidence, and the verdict is clear. You are not just a participant in this universe. You are a commander of it. Since you are creating in real time, let's test it. Let's speed up the manifestation. Type 444 to command the universe to release what has been held up. Don't just wish for it, command it. Divine Anomaly. When the spiritual realm saw what you did, when they saw you take the pain and turn it into power, heaven wasn't just amazed. They couldn't take it lightly. They realized that a being of your caliber cannot be left exposed to the elements. Because of your new rank, the rules of engagement have completely changed. You are now under divine protection. We need to talk about what I call divine immunity. For years, you lived in survival mode. You felt like you were constantly dodging arrows, fighting off bad luck, and scraping by while invisible forces tried to drag you down. You spent so much energy just trying to protect yourself, but you can put your shield down now. You don't need to fight the lower entities anymore because you outrank them. Think about a military base. A private cannot just walk into the general's office and start shouting. They would be stopped at the gate. They would need clearance. They would need an appointment. That is your life now, because you have surpassed the highest angel. The entities that used to torment you, the spirits of fear, lack, and confusion, now need permission to approach you. They cannot just kick down your door anymore. You have a spiritual force field around you that requires them to get authorization before they can even whisper in your ear. This is why you have felt a sudden shift in your battles. Have you noticed that the things that used to destroy you for months now only bother you for a few minutes? Have you noticed that when a problem arises, the solution appears almost instantly? That isn't a coincidence. That is the force field at work. You have outgrown the limitations you once had. The enemy knows that if they touch you without permission, the retaliation from the universe will be swift and severe. You are dangerous to them now. Stop right there. If you haven't subscribed yet, you need to ask yourself, are you self-sabotaging? Every time you pray for clarity, every time you cry out in confusion, the Most High guides you to messages just like this one. Don't reject the hand that heaven is extending to you. Subscribe now so you stay connected to the voice that lifts you up when the rest of the world tries to tear you down. This brings us to the concept of cosmic favor. Please do not confuse this with good luck. Luck is random. Luck is for gamblers. You are not a gambler. You are a ruler. Your actions have activated cosmic forces that are now working in your favor. This is working by law and not by chance. It is the law of spiritual gravity. Because you have accumulated so much spiritual mass and weight through your suffering, you now have a gravitational pull. Blessings are not happening to you. They are being pulled toward you. Opportunities are hunting you down. The right people are finding you. You don't have to chase anything anymore. In fact, chasing is beneath your rank. A king doesn't chase, he commands, and things come to him. The universe is physically rearranging itself to clear a path for your feet. When you walk, doors open. If a door closes, it's because it led to a lower level that you are no longer allowed to visit. You need to walk with the confidence of someone who knows they are covered. You can no longer be touched by negativity. I don't mean that people won't try to be negative. I mean that their negativity can no longer penetrate your skin. It slides off you like water off a duck. You have become spiritually Teflon. The insults, the doubts, the economy, the news, none of it sticks to your spirit anymore. You have been vaccinated against the darkness by your own experience. You have seen the worst, survived it, and risen above it. What can the world possibly threaten you with now? Nothing. You are safe. You are held. You are invincible, not because you are perfect, but because you are protected by the highest order. Walk in that safety. The fear-mongering is over. Your reign has begun. The recalibration. What used to be a structured, predictable universe has now been altered by your actions. You need to understand that until recently, your life probably followed a script written by your ancestors, your society, and your past traumas. But because you broke the code, that script has been shredded. Heaven is now in the process of recalculating the future because of what you've achieved. Think of a GPS system. When you are driving and you make a turn that isn't on the map, the system pauses. It doesn't shut down, it says, recalculating. That is exactly what is happening in the spiritual realm right now. You went off-road. You chose faith when you should have chosen fear. You chose forgiveness when you should have chosen bitterness. You drove off the map of normal human behavior, and because of that, the Divine is mapping a completely new route specifically for you. This means that nothing from your past can predict your future anymore. The statisticians, the doctors, the teachers, and the family members who thought they had you figured out are working with outdated data. They're looking at a map that no longer exists. You have forced the universe to upgrade the plan for your life. This recalibration brings you to a place of absolute authority. You have unlocked admin access to your reality. In the computer world, a guest user can only do basic things. They can't change the settings or delete the viruses. But an admin has full control. You can now delete the files of generational trauma. You can uninstall the programs of poverty and sickness that have run in your bloodline for centuries. The old contracts, the spoken curses, and the limitations that held your parents back are void for you. They do not apply to your rank, and here's the most important part. Your new power doesn't come with restrictions. It's limitless. You've just unlocked it. The ceiling that stopped your grandmother is your floor. The barrier that stopped your father is your stepping stone. You are not just a participant in the timeline anymore. You are the architect of a new one. You are building the new earth right where you stand. Every time you speak, you are laying a brick. Every time you dream, you are drawing a blueprint. The ink on the pages of your life is wet again. You are no longer reading a story that was already written. You are holding the pen. The universe is waiting on your command to solidify the next chapter. You have the power to create a life that looks nothing like where you came from. You are the anomaly that changes the entire bloodline. The recalibration is complete, and the new path is open. The ultimachos. Now that you know what you've achieved, we have arrived at the most critical moment of this entire journey. You have two paths before you. You cannot stand still anymore. You have learned too much. Once your eyes are opened to your true rank, you cannot close them again without consequences. Ignorance was a luxury you used to have, but that luxury is gone. You are now responsible for your own power. The first path leads back to the ordinary life you've always known. You can click off this video, go back to your job, go back to your toxic relationships, and pretend none of this ever happened. You can go back to being a sleeping giant. It is a comfortable path. It is safe. No one will attack you there because you won't be a threat to anyone. You can blend in with the crowd, complain about the economy, and live a quiet, small life. But deep down, you will know you are living a lie. You will feel the weight of your unlived potential crushing your chest every single night. The second path leads to fulfilling your purpose at the highest level. This is the path of the awakened ruler. I won't lie to you, this path is dangerous. It requires you to walk alone sometimes. It requires you to set boundaries that might upset people. It requires you to take full ownership of your reality. But it is the only path where you will ever find peace. It is the only path where your soul will finally fit your body. You have spent your entire life waiting for someone to give you permission to be great. You are waiting for a parent, a boss, or a partner to tell you that you are worthy. You can no longer wait for permission. The permission slip you are looking for does not exist because you are the authority. You are the one who signs the checks in the spiritual realm now. You can no longer hide. You have been playing small so that other people wouldn't feel insecure around you. That ends today. Hiding your light is an insult to the Creator who gave it to you. This is not just a suggestion. This is a demand. I am demanding that you step into the greatness you were destined for. The universe has left a seat open for you at the table of rulers. It has been empty since the day you were born. The angels are watching. The dark forces are watching. The ancestors are watching. Everyone is waiting to see if you have the courage to sit in the seat that belongs to you. You are not an imposter. You are not a fraud. You are the rightful heir who has finally come home. The time for doubt is over. The time for trying is over. It is time to step into your role. It is time to occupy your rank. You have outranked the highest angel not so you can brag, but so you can serve humanity with a power they have never seen before. The question isn't whether you are capable. We already proved you are. The question is, will you accept the job? The frequency lock chosen one. Your time is now. You have stuck with this message until the very end, and that alone separates you from the 99% who clicked away. You have listened to the truth about your identity, and by doing so, you've crossed a threshold that few ever will. The old version of you, the one that felt small, ignored, and powerless, is gone. The new version, the one that outranks the highest angel, is now awake. Before you go, Chosen one, look at the fact that you are still here. You made it to the very end of this message when thousands of others clicked away. That is a sign. Your spirit is starving for this truth. Don't walk away empty-handed. Subscribe now. It costs you nothing, but it could mean the difference between staying stuck or stepping into your destiny. Join the family. But listening isn't enough. You need to seal this transformation. You need to physically anchor this digital experience into your reality so it doesn't fade away when you close this app. I want you to go to the comments section right now and type 444. Do not just think it, write it. By typing this, you are signaling to the universe that you accept your new status. Comment 444 below to amplify your frequency and lock in the shift. And remember, this is not the end, it's the beginning of something bigger. You have just turned on the engine, but you haven't started driving yet. There are advanced instructions, deeper secrets, and higher levels of power that I need to share with you to help you navigate this new rank. You cannot afford to miss what comes next. Subscribe and hit the notification bell right now, because your journey is just beginning. Stay tuned for more revelations that will activate even more of your hidden potential. Welcome to the higher rank.